let's hope it will be very soon. Thank you.
I hope I can transmit this joy and this pleasure with the audience.
Today was a really weird feeling. I think it's one of the only times this has happened to me. As I was playing, I almost felt like the performance already happened and I was just listening to it as part of the audience. Like I never was worried about something going wrong.
Zazwyczaj słucham siebie po prostu. Jestem często bardziej jako ten, co siedzi na sali. Bo jak słucham jak inny pianistek, ale to ja na przykład zrobię tutaj ciszej, a teraz na szczęście mogę.
Jest to wszystkim element reakcji na to, co aktualnie się dzieje i w jaki sposób chcę zagrać. Jeżeli pracuję nad jakimś fragmentem utworu, nigdy nie wypracowuję jednej idealnej wersji. Tych wersji może być 10, 20, 30, nawet więcej. I na scenie spontanicznie wybieram to, co w danej chwili po prostu pasuje do kontekstu tego, co gram i co robię.
Today, the instrument was on my side, so I didn't even have to think for a second. And instead, I was curious to see how soft can I do this, how loud can I was exploring.
The same thing, the pressure is what makes the performance even beautiful at some point. I enjoy it. I enjoy the silence of like, I don't know how many, it's like 1,000 people.
Sometimes you need to control also when there's very technically demanding messages. You need to have a very cold mind.
Welcome back to Chopin Talk. We're all waiting for the results of the 19th International Chopin Competition, coming to you from Warsaw. Of course, we're all excited to find out who wins, who gets the prizes, and we've just been hearing such incredible performances of concertos, Paul's fantasies over the last few days, and also over the last 3 weeks, all of Chopin's music. And the 84 competitors you heard, turns out they didn't just show up here. They didn't just land and find their way to the Philharmonic Hall and start playing the piano. People have jobs who have to actually produce them and manage them and take care of them, and it's a big task. And so I'm really pleased to be joined now by a couple of members of the competition office, Alexandra and Maciej. Thank you for joining us. You've had a big role in getting not just these 84 competitors comfortable and accommodated here in Warsaw, but also over the past year, starting with, how many was it, Maciej? 600 something?
It was 680.
640. It was in the system. More than 640 applications.
So Alexandra, so let's start there. About a year ago, you received 640 something applications, and the job begins. So just take us from there to here in a nutshell. Sort of how did that process develop?
Right. So first of all, our task was to prepare the application form. So we needed to write down all the pieces written in the rules of the competition. Then every candidate should already know what they would play during every stage. Of course, later
They can revise.
Yes, exactly, but but in the application form they already needed to fill out everything for like all the stages, and of course they needed to fill out all the data and such documents such as universities and recommendations from the professors. And then at the end they were sending these application forms. So this process lasted around 3 months. It started in the beginning of October 2022. It started in October 2024 and it finished in January this year.
So the first selection was made, narrowing it down to 160 or so in January. And they were invited in April, and you came on board at some point around this point. You got to know a lot of these competitors, didn't you?
Right, so we actually first got to know them virtually via the application forms and the recordings that they also had to submit to competition office. So that was the first time that we kind of like was acquainted with them because we had to make sure that the programs and the recordings are all intact in accordance with the rules of the competition. So it was kind of hard to keep up, like, and keep everyone in memory, especially like there was like almost 650 of them first. And then the qualifying committee after they have revised all the recordings. It was narrowed down to, I think it was 168 applicants. So from that point, obviously came the preliminary round as well, and that's where we first met them in person.
I was going to say, so Alexander, that's when you actually start developing relationships in person. You meet them, and you have to coordinate their first stay in Warsaw, make sure they're comfortable, and they're doing one of the most nerve-wracking things a human being could do. So you can't just be a administrator and order them around. You have to be sensitive to them. Can you just talk about the challenges, the human challenge of managing such young pianists doing such an elite skill?
Well, in fact, personally, I was really grateful, and I'm still really grateful to be in contact with all the participants and with all the contestants earlier, because I think that's the most important thing you can give them, to give them the support, to make them feel good and just relax as much as they can be, of course. So we really try to take care of them, to answer all of their questions, their needs, and of course, first the amount of the participants was really high. When we had more than 160 participants, it was harder, but they were coming just for 2 or 3 days during preliminaries. They were just coming, having piano tryouts, playing their audition, and then leaving.
So you would deal with them in batches or groups. Every 2 or 3 days you'd have maybe 20 or 30 or something. I don't know what it was exactly, but it wasn't like all 160 at once.
No, not at one time.
Waves of pianists would
Exactly.
come through, yeah.
Actually, this period of preliminaries was quite challenging for us because every single day there was they needed to have their piano tryout. They needed to choose the pianos. They needed to register. And they needed to perform. I mean, there were 3 different groups.
Practice.
Yeah.
Also, they needed to
So
practice.
you're also making sure they find that might be the first thing they ask you. Where do I practice?
Well,
How long do I get to practice?
so that's all we had to prepare for them. So Maciej is really good in schedules, in charts, and so we really needed to to make it work, right? The
Yes, I mean,
specific hours.
Of course, we are collaborating with the Shota University when it comes to scheduling rehearsals. Not rehearsals, practice sessions for each participant. And so we knew that we had a certain amount of allocated time for all of the contestants. sure that each one of them gets an equal opportunity to practice.
How much time were they each allowed to have?
So it depends on it depended on the stage actually. Even during the competition it differed.
Yeah.
Yes, because during the first stage it was 2 hours each.
That's not enough.
That's not enough. That was first per day, obviously.
I see.
And of course, that wasn't the only opportunity that they got to practice, but was like the minimum that
Right. You guarantee that, and then you give them. Do you help give them other opportunities for pianos, or do they have to seek them?
We liaise between them and also the piano producers.
So if they choose a certain instrument, then they develop a relationship with that particular brand, and they have a
yes,
practice.
they can. Yes, we don't we don't guarantee those sessions, but they can reach out to them independently and schedule additional practice sessions with them.
Well, I know these types of pianists, and some of them want to practice 10 hours a day. So if they need to go to that extreme, you also have to field their concerns. Like, I feel like I'm not getting enough time. So is that something that you've had to face, or do they have an electric keyboard somewhere, or you just give them a recommendation?
Yes, I mean every contestant was given an opportunity to practice at the rooms because also the electronic instruments were provided.
Oh, so they have something. Oh, well, then there's always something there. But a big part of the job is just actually having to respond to the concerns and questions of the pianist, but not just the pianist, because we have some very young pianists here. Also their parents and also their teachers. Can you talk about just having to be a diplomat, I suppose, and manage that sort of challenging sort of human element? Because of course, especially for the younger musicians, they have people who are really taking care of them already, and so now you have to take care of them with them, and so they probably have a lot of questions for you, don't they?
Well, yes, it's happening, and it was happening. Mostly the youngest participants, of course, because they were always coming with their parents or professors. So we also, of course, were for their accompanying persons too. We also wanted them to feel good, to have their badge, so they could also come to us to backstage in case if they had some questions. And of course, we were helping them with obtaining the tickets. Sometimes they were also helping us, with this coordinating or the coordination. Yes, but I think it was always in a very good way.
Well, they're excited to be here. I'm sure they're not demanding things from you. They're also, they want the help, and I imagine they really appreciate what you do.
They were really grateful, usually. So we were always happy to welcome everyone and to have them in any way.
Are they all staying nearby, like within walking distance, or that's a lot? I mean, 84 pianists, they're all within some radius of this hall, right?
Luckily, the Philharmonic Hall and the Chopin University and Chopin Institute are in a distance of maximum 15 minutes on foot. So also we wanted them to stay in a hotel also very close in the area. So I mean, all of these places were in a distance of 15 minutes walking.
Are they all staying in the same hotel, seeing each other in the hallways?
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yes. Yeah, but these are the conditions.
It's normal, yeah.
Yeah, maybe
They're friends too. Yeah, it's not like I mean they're competitors, but it's not like they're out to get each other.
Of course, some of these participants already know each other.
Some are best friends with student classmates, or they get to know each other here. In competitions, there's a lot more camaraderie than you realize. Have you noticed that really in general, the pianists get along with each other? Is that your general impression, or?
Yes, I think some of them really preferred to be alone and focused on themselves. Some of them didn't ask us any tickets. They didn't want to listen to any auditions. But the others really wanted to listen to their friends or just to hear
watching, can you talk about just what have you noticed? Deep breaths? Have you seen different ways of managing nerves?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've got like every each one of them has a different routine. It seems. Some of them would be very reluctant to come off the room earlier than is absolutely necessary, because normally you would knock on the door when the speaker announces the program, the name, so that they still would get those few minutes just in front of the entrance to the concert hall, right?
I mean, I'm trying to put myself in the feeling of getting that knock.
Yeah, and
knowing it's time.
Yeah, absolutely. And so some of them would actually prefer to stay in the preparation for as long as they could, just look in the mirror and just be there until the very last possible second.
Some of them are practicing right up until the moment.
Yes, yeah.
Would you say more practice right until the knock, or more being silent in the last?
Honestly, it depends on the campus.
Maybe
Could be
not.
half. Could be even half.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do they have any objects like loveys or things they squeeze or
Yeah.
plucky rabbits?
Teddy bears.
Teddy bears. Teddy bears.
Yeah,
What else?
definitely.
What else?
Penguin and piggy.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah.
And at what point do they have to put the piggy down?
I mean, sometimes we would just, slightly reach out for them to kind of give them the signal to kind of like visit away.
You have to turn it away from right on the stairs. There's
No.
maybe like 10.
I mean, I think they're professional enough to
Yeah,
understand.
I mean, that would be absurd, but it's interesting that you observe what we don't see. I mean, we see the presentation, and of course, probably when they're on the stairs, they walk in. But everything right before it, they might be a different person.
Yeah, there's a little bit of like meditation or like even gymnastics going on. Right?
You see this
Yeah,
jumping up and down.
jumping up and down.
This kind of thing. Someone would show up and chat you up, but they won't, not think about it, or is sometimes they can't control what mood they're in when they come off. And I just, having done it, not quite at this level, but having done it before, pianists can be very hard on themselves. That's how they got to this point, very self-deprecating. So even if they played extraordinarily, they're going to come off and be thinking about what went wrong So I suppose you have to be very sensitive to at all times, and kind of read their feelings, and do some of them maybe need more support than others, and some are more independent, some rely on you more. How's that been? Just kind of feeling out the different needs of the different composers.
Well, there were different reactions when they were getting on the stage. Some of them were like, okay, I'm ready for the interview, I can go now. Chat about everything else. What do you need to see a person in them? And that's what I think counts for us, right? To see their personality and to see them as another human, another musician who needs some support and yeah, and a friendly person.
It must be very emotional just following the competition, seeing who's advancing, who's not advancing, and you see the human element more than anybody else, really, because you're responsible for their, so, well, it's been really insightful to sort of peek behind the curtain and get a chance to sort of understand better how all of this is produced from that human level. I've
Hi, am I speaking with Misty? Hi, this is Eric, the piano tuner from Thumbtack. How you doing? I'm great. I just saw your request, so I wanted to give you a call. I'm glad I caught you. You had a baby grand, was that correct? And is there anything wrong with it other than just needing the tuning that you're aware of? Okay, and then sorry I didn't see in the note, but what do you recall when the last time you had the piano tuned was? Okay, would you say it's pretty bad though right now? Or more than a year? I mean, more than a year. Okay. All right. So you were in Lakewood, was that correct? Okay. So it'll take me at least 2 hours, up to 3 hours to do the piano edition, but definitely 2 hours. And then my total fee, depending, it doesn't depend on the time, will be $250. So if I finish 2 hours or 3 hours, it's still $250. I do check, cash, Zelle, or PayPal, those are easiest. How soon are you looking to get it tuned? I can do it this week, tomorrow, or whenever's good for you. I can do Wednesday. Is morning or evening better for you this Wednesday? Or early? Okay. 2 p.m. early, or a little later? Oh, early. Okay. 1 or noon. Okay. Let's do noon. Okay. Good. It's cool because I'm based in Cleveland, so you're real close to me. I can do noon. And then what's your address, Misty? Okay, you're right on Lake Avenue. That was 12550 Lake Avenue? Okay. 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 Will they I need to sign in to get up in the elevator or anything, or am I able to just like walk in and Okay, that's cool. And you said it was the Meridian, was that correct? Okay. All right. Well then, Misty, I will see you Wednesday morning then, okay? Thank you. Bye-bye.
potrzebne. Cały czas coś się dzieje. Czy jest to szok, czy jest to naszego natury, czy jest to czy jest to to są setki zaangażowanych osób, to jest wielki wspólny wysiłek.
jak się Państwo domyślają, mamy rezultaty. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening or good morning already. We have the results. But first, let us hear a brief comment from the chairman of the jury, Mr. Gary Colson. Ale najpierw krótki komentarz pana Gary Colsona, przewodniczącego jury.
My brief comment is that I'm very pleased to be standing here to deliver the verdict to you finally. We worked very hard and we had a number of very difficult discussions involving our opinions about artistic matters, and it did really take this long, but we actually got rid of the roadblocks, and I think we have a fine decision for this year's competition, and I congratulate all the candidates.
Rzeczywiście komentarz będzie bardzo krótki. Chciałem powiedzieć, że dość długo obradowaliśmy, bo nasza dyskusja na temat artystyczny była niezwykle ożywiona, ale w ramach tej dyskusji udało nam się wszystkie przeszkody, które stały na drodze do osiągnięcia rezultatu końcowego pokonać i wydaje mi się, że mamy wspaniały wynik konkursu. Bardzo serdecznie gratuluję wszystkim uczestnikom finału.
That's it.
I to był cały komentarz przewodniczącego jury. Nie będziemy przedłużać, proszę Państwa. Poproszę dyrektora konkursu, doktora Artura Szklenera, o odczytanie werdyktu. So let me ask the director of the Chopin competition, Mr. Artur Szklener, to read the verdict of the jury.
Szanowni Państwo, jury 19. Międzynarodowego Konkursu Pianistycznego imienia Fryderyka Chopina przyznało następujące nagrody.
Ladies and gentlemen, the jury of the 19th International Frédéric Chopin Piano Competition has awarded the following prizes.
Nagrodę za najlepsze wykonanie mazurków otrzymuje
The award for the best performance of the mazurkas goes to
Jehuda Prokopowicz. Nagrodę za najlepsze wykonanie poloneza otrzymuje
the award for the best performance of the Polonaise goes to
Tianyu Li z Chin, from China. Nagrodę za najlepsze wykonanie ballady otrzymuje
the award for the best performance of the ballad goes to
Adam Kołduński z Polski. Szóstą nagrodę otrzymuje
the sixth award goes to
William Young ze Stanów Zjednoczonych. From United States. Piątą nagrodę otrzymują ex aequo.
and the fifth award ex aequo goes to
Piotr Aleksewicz z Polski. Oraz Vincent On z Malezji, from Malaysia. Czwartą nagrodę otrzymują ex aequo.
the fourth award ex aequo goes to
Tianyu Liu z Chin, from China. Tianyu Liu otrzymują również nagrodę za najlepsze wykonanie koncertu.
and Tianyu Liu also receives the award for the best performance of the concerto.
I drugą, czwartą nagrodę otrzymuje Shiori Kuwahara z Japonii, from Japan. Trzecią nagrodę i brązowy medal oraz nagrodę za najlepsze wykonanie sonaty otrzymuje
The third award, bronze medal, and the award for the best performance of the sonata goes to
Zitong Wong z Chin. From China. Drugą nagrodę i srebrny medal otrzymuje
the second award and a silver medal goes to
Kevin Chen.
Wow.
I wreszcie pierwszą nagrodę i złoty medal otrzymuje
and the first award and the gold medal goes to
Eric Lu.
Wow. Eric Wood.
Szanowni Państwo, ponieważ nie możemy zapewnić wszystkim z Państwa ekskluzywnych wywiadów z laureatem pierwszej nagrody, ja zadam kilka pytań, tak żeby mieli Państwo materiał do swoich relacji. Ladies and gentlemen, since we cannot really arrange exclusive interviews for all the journalists present in the hall, let me ask a few questions. Eric, how do you feel? Did you expect it?
I could not, so this was really. No, I could not, so no words. No.
Oh, but may I ask a few questions, or you just do not want to speak in public now?
Maybe that's not. Okay, a few questions. Yeah.
If you could please tell the cameras how happy you feel and what your feelings are, and we'll be done.
I'm so grateful for this honor. I'm grateful for all the Chopin lovers around the world who watched online and all the audience here in Warsaw. I'm grateful for the jury to bestow me this honor. And yeah, this was a dream come true, of course.
To spełnione marzenie, jestem bardzo głęboko wzruszony, wolałbym więcej nie mówić. Bardzo dziękuję jurorom za zaszczycenie mnie tą nagrodą. Bardzo także dziękuję wszystkim miłośnikom muzyki Fryderyka Chopina na całym świecie. Well, very warm congratulations to you. Szanowni Państwo, dziękujemy za tak liczne przybycie. Proszę śledzić dokonania wszystkich uczestników, laureatów i oczywiście zwycięzcy. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your presence in such huge numbers tonight. That will be all. Please follow all the candidates in the competition, all the finalists, laureates, and of course, first and foremost, the winner of the 19th International Frédéric Chopin Piano Competition. Eric, if I may just ask you to the front for a brief photo session for the cameras, and we'll be done.
Yo, after 4 hours, they just announced the winner, Eric Liu, and I think he deserved it.
So we have to get some sleep. Thank you very much.
But Krakuli didn't even place, man. I'm real surprised at that. And then they gave Kevin Chen second place. I watched a few of his etudes, but I did not see his earlier rounds. I'm probably gonna check it out now. And then I think that Vincent Owen, they gave 2 5th prizes. Excuse me. So my last remarks in this competition, I thought it was way better than the previous competitions. I never followed any of the previous competitions, the Ellie Chopin competitions ever before, like I did this one. So I think that has to do with the nature of, like, one, my lifestyle now. I don't do anything or go out anymore. And then also that everything's online. Things weren't like that before, and the streams weren't as good or as solid. But it's very nice. The second place guy, like I said, all the, even more than half the finalists, I did not even see half the rounds yet. So, you know, over the next coming days, I'll definitely probably just be checking out the top 7, since they gave two fifth prizes, which is interesting. I guess I'll check out more of that Kevin Chen. I didn't watch any of his stuff, so that's that. Excuse me.
Lowe's knows running a home or business can add up fast. And with a free
Oh, where on earth am I? Okay, to-dos coming soon. Find the secret tape, redeem a code, play the first chapter.
Hello, friends. Welcome back to Doggo's Hide and Seek Show. Only at Harry's Daycare. The rules are simple. Doggo waits in the closet until the timer runs out. Then he comes out.
What?
Look for you.
What?
So, you'd better find a really good hiding place. And if he does find you, it's time for a
The Dolphin Hotel has 19 floors, with hundreds of luxurious rooms waiting for you to check in. But there's only one where you can never check out. 1408, the most haunted room in America. And tonight, this smart aleck author managed to find himself on the guest list. Of course, he stopped believing in ghosts a long time ago, but by the end of the night, he's going to experience things so horrifying that they'll make him wish that the ghosts were all he had to be afraid of. We're here to break down the mistakes made, what you should do, and how to beat the evil hotel room in 1408. In this hotel, the most expensive room will cost you your life. It's another day on the job for paranormal writer Mike Enslin, who travels around the country investigating any place with a ghost story. After another disappointing book signing, he heads down to the beach to shred some gnar when he suddenly gets hit by a passing wave, causing him to black out as he's pulled underwater. When he finally wakes up again, he finds himself safely back on dry land, but it looks like it was a close call. That afternoon, he finds a postcard from the Dolphin Hotel in New York, warning him not to enter room 1408. At first glance, it looks like another ploy from a desperate hotel to drum up some business, but it's going to be the most horrifying night of his life. He arrives at the Dolphin, expecting the celebrity treatment, but the manager, Mr. Olin, pulls him aside as soon as he gets there, warning him that the stories about the room are all true, and that no one has ever lasted more than an hour after checking in. It's not just the ghosts either that he needs to worry about. There's another, much more evil presence in the room, and as the manager, he simply doesn't want another crime scene messing up his nice hotel. He tries absolutely anything to talk the writer out of it, but Mike here still refuses to listen. And that right there was his biggest mistake. Okay, this was the exact opposite of what you would call a warm welcome. Yeah, Mike here thinks that he's too smart to fall for any of Olin's tricks, but the manager's hesitancy to give him the room was actually the first sign that this job was going to be different. Unlike every other hotel that he's been to, this one clearly doesn't need any help finding business. Those places relied on ghost tourism just to pay the bills, so of course they're happy to be featured in one of Mike's books. But meanwhile, the Dolphin here seems to be doing just fine without him. Where other places actively lean into their stories, Olin doesn't even advertise the true amount of ghosts that they might have. According to him, there have been 22 natural deaths in the room that the public doesn't know about, because they were never reported in the newspapers. The most similar place that exists in real life could be the Cecil Hotel in downtown LA. Since it opened back in 1924, there have been anywhere from like 16 to 20 plus confirmed deaths in every horrifying way that you can imagine. But even by comparison, the Dolphin here blows the Cecil out of the water, with an average of 1 death every 2 years that it's been open, making it an extreme statistical anomaly, and hinting that there's something more going on here than just bad luck. Now, if Mike here was actually on the lookout for any suspicious activity, there are a few things that might stand out. While he was waiting in the lobby, he noticed a few notable characters in the crowd, like the woman with the baby, and the bellhop who appeared out of nowhere. You know, I would try asking Olin or one of the other workers about them. That way, Mike can confirm if those people really exist, or if he might already be seeing ghosts. Since he's in Olin's office, he could also try comparing his handwriting to the postcard, giving him an easy way to check if it was written by the manager here or somebody else. He might not believe in ghosts yet, but considering all of the red flags, it would have been a much better idea to take Olin up on his offer to stay in the room across the hall instead. With pictures of the layout and the ledger full of the room's history, he'd have everything that he needed to write this section of his book without actually staying in the room itself. And soon, he'll see exactly why Olin gave him so many chances to leave. After finally accepting that he can't talk him out of it, Olin reluctantly hands the author the physical key to the room, explaining that the electronics don't work properly inside. On the ride up, he explains that the owners refuse to close the room forever, because then they would have to admit that it was really haunted. So instead, they try to clean it out once a month with a team of several workers, making sure to always keep the door open while they're inside. And even then, the stories still aren't enough to scare him away. And when they reach Mike's floor, the manager begs him one more time not to go through with it, only to unceremoniously leave him as soon as he turns away, as if knowing that it's the last time that they'll ever see him alive. Carrying on, Mike takes a left and heads down one of the luxurious yet creepy hallways in search of his room. The manager left him with a ledger full of all the various kills that the room has racked up. As he absent-mindedly flips through it, he becomes so distracted that he accidentally walks all the way around in a big circle until he ends up right back at the elevators. This time he finds it without any trouble and slowly pushes open the door to face the foreboding darkness inside. But when he flips on the lights, the room looks perfectly normal. Underwhelmed as usual, he records some notes about his experience so far, mentioning how the manager almost had him convinced. By all accounts, it looks like he's in for another long, boring night, and he scrolls through some educational programs on the TV, before turning to the Bible for some entertainment instead. But nothing about the room can even scratch his interest, let alone make him start believing in the other side. Flopping down on the bed, he sarcastically narrates every mundane aspect of the room in extreme detail, pointing out the familiar furniture, the mysteriously stained carpet, and the admittedly creepy yet boring paintings hung on the walls. He's peeping out the window at the busy street below when, out of nowhere, the radio cuts on and starts loudly playing the Carpenters' We've Only Just Begun, startling him so badly that he jumps back and slams his head on the window frame. Bizarrely, he notices that his bed is made perfectly, as if he wasn't just sitting on it a moment before. And the mysterious housekeeper even left 2 pieces of chocolate on his pillow. It's shocking, and for the first time in his life, he's been confronted with what looks like genuine evidence of the paranormal. but he quickly comes to his senses, convinced that it must be some kind of elaborate trick by the manager. Rushing from room to room, he starts throwing open the closets and looking behind the shower curtain, searching for whoever's behind the trick. But when he reaches the bathroom, he's alarmed to find that the towels and toilet paper have all been reset to exactly how they were when he first checked in. At first, he thinks it's funny, still believing that it's just a stealthy hotel worker and not Casper the Friendly Ghost. But no matter how hard he looks, there's absolutely no sign of anyone else there. And it's becoming increasingly clear that he's always been the only one in the room. Okay, Mike here is still taking all this as a joke, but if I were him, then I sure as hell would not be laughing. Although he wants to blame it all on one of Olin's minions, there's no possible way that someone could have entered the room and reset everything without him noticing, like at all. Which can only mean one thing: the stories about the room are actually true. And the sooner that he accepts this, the better his chances of survival are going to be. Now, as a paranormal expert himself, Mike should know that hauntings come in all different varieties, and some are a lot worse than others. The most common form is a residual haunting, which is basically just a harmless playback of what happened. Then you have intelligent hauntings, which have the ability to interact with observers and their environment, like by folding sheets or refilling toilet paper. Now, if he was lucky, then it would stop there, but Olin didn't just say the room was haunted, he said the room was evil, and those are two very different things. Based on its history, I think it should be obvious that he's dealing with a malevolent, inhuman entity, or in other words, a demon. And that's why the smartest thing that he could do right now is get the hell out of this room while he still has the chance. Now, earlier, Olin dropped a bit of important information, mentioning how they only clean the room for about 10 minutes at a time. Based on that, it would seem like the entity needs time to build up its hold over you, so it's possible that Mike still has time to escape. When he first came in, the clock showed 7:52, but now it shows 8 p.m., meaning that he's been in there for roughly 8 minutes, and sure enough, the spirit showed up right on time. If this is true and he's still within that 10-minute window, then I'd get my ass out of that door and down to the lobby before things get any worse. It might seem like chickening out, but now that he has the evidence that he came for, I wouldn't want to stick around until things turn deadly. The only
Well, a little birdie told me rates are taking a dip, which means that dream home won't be there forever. Don't let someone else beat you to it. Start your search today. Make it real with Realtor. The 12th and final locator spell has located.
Duh! You couldn't find a dragon, because they're extinct. The only one left on Earth was Shendu, and he's doing afterlife in the interdimensional slammer.
JD, we had to be absolutely certain that the power of combustion has not found a host.
With no dragon to inhabit, the power remains lost, safe from the forces of darkness.
As long as thou on one roams the earth, nothing remains safe.
Your answer, most malevolent of fire breathers?
It would seem you have summoned me merely to humor me, wizard. For to obtain the power of combustion, you would require a living, earthbound dragon, which I am not.
You underestimate my talents, Lord Shendu. As the most malevolent of dark she masters, I know a multitude of ancient spells, some of which might restore you.
Then you may have find a spell that will allow me to live again.
Ladies and gentlemen, Garfield and friends.
We're ready to party! We're ready. I hope you bring lots of spaghetti.
Come on in, come to my where fun never ends. Come on in, it's fun party with Garfield and friends. Dancing,
Fiesta, siesta, la bamba, ay caramba, disguises, surprises, and pies all sizes.
come on in, come to the place where fun never ends. Come on in, it's fun party with Garfield and friends. Come on in, it's fun party with Garfield and friends. Garfield and friends.
Just think of me as like a teenage mutant ninja pussycat.
I'm so hungry I could eat my saddle blankets. This is as good a place as any to tie up and chow down a arbuncle.
You're the expert, Cactus Jake.
Never tattle on a stranger with a fistful of wieners. That's the code of the West.
What have you done, Garfield?
He's gone and ate everything except these here dried pinto beans. Let's get a cook fire going and I'll whip us up a mess of my famous Mexicali chili for lunch.
Not the Mexicali chili. Hot peppers with a side of heartburn. Everybody, dismount.
I admire your community spirit, Johnny, but volunteering to take the neighborhood of Five American Science Club on a pack trip seems like a mighty big challenge.
They've been to the observatory and the atomic research lab. I thought they'd enjoy changing pace.
So far, the only fun they've had today is calculating how to send a certain oversized payload into orbit.
Cowboys are a thing of the past, an anachronism.
Kids today want to be astronauts, Mr. Arbuckle.
Astronauts. Well, stuff my bedroll with rattlesnakes, if that don't beat all. You know, the local Indians named this here spot Medicine Green Canyon, cause sometimes when they build a cook fire, they saw visions of the future in it.
I'd rather see visions of lunch.
This is the Space Colony Omega Epsilon calling Mission Control with an urgent request for additional personnel.
Do you want us to send you more scientists, Omega Epsilon?
Negative, Mission Control. We're up to our ears in scientists, and most of them can't do any useful work around here. We need specialists.
I dephase the ion drive and cycle the main reactor so we can go EVA for a while.
Reception committee. They look mighty upset about something. I don't know. Oh, seem to be. We sure are glad to see you, Cactus Jupiter. Our space cattle were stolen off the range this morning by aliens.
Well, then me and my sidekicks had better get to scouting around for the trail of them pesky outlaw extraterrestrials.
I better grab a life-sustaining snack from my space food supply. Nothing beats lasagna through a straw, but for some reason, Mission Control always forgets the Parmesan cheese.
The colonists said that aliens took the cattle, but there's no eyewitness description of exactly what happened in our computer database. It just says they disappeared.
I suppose it's my duty to test the quality of the in-flight meals on this fancy borrowed rig. Spaghetti with meatballs is always first-class dining fare. The quality of the service leaves much to be desired, however.
The omnidirectional digitized locator system is honed in on something.
Maneuver to full attitude complete.
Go for landing interface. Magnetic field power down.
I didn't like the sound of that touchdown.
At least the herd is safe and sound.
Uh-oh, we've landed in space, Goo. That's quicksand with a rotten attitude.
Only a bunch of stupid colonists with good intentions and no practical experience would fly all the way out here only to land in the goo. Get 'em, clones.
Reach for the sky and don't try anything funny.
It's the Tin Man and his gang. They've got the drop on us with their particle beam blast